Hello, fellow killers and survivors from the fog. It's me, the Dead by Daylight guy. I play Dead by Daylight because I'm depressed. Anyways, if you've been living under a rock, or you're in an animatronic suit, or you're just dead, Dead by Daylight have just released their newest killer into their game. And it's been a killer that people have been waiting for ages. And it's none other than Ploppy's Playtime.
What?
Okay, fine, it's not Ploppy's Playtime, it's actually Hello Neighbor. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, it's not Hello Neighbor either. It's actually Springtrap from Five Nights at Foxy's. No, I mean Freddy's, damn it! So it's been 9 years and we finally got Five Nights at Freddy's and Dead by Daylight. And for this video, today I'm going to see if it was worth the wait. I'm just going to talk about Springtrap himself, the lore, his power, his perks, and his cosmetics, and of course the map. Two things I should let you know: I'm not going to talk about his add-ons because I'm not the best expert on add-ons. If you want to know a bit more about his add-ons, I would recommend watching Starver or something. Watch someone better than me, to be honest. And I'm not the best at lore for Five Nights at Freddy's, so if I get things wrong, please apologise. But anyways, let's start the video.
Five Nights at Freddy's, that's where I wanna be. Five Nights at...
So first thing, what is Five Nights at Freddy's? Five Nights at Freddy's is a video game where you play as a security guard, and you pretty much have to last until 6 AM to pass the level. You have to pretty much do all 5 nights because it's, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's. One thing you need to watch out for is the animatronics because they do tend to move, so you need to keep an eye on them. Now if they do catch you, they do, you know, do the famous jump scare at you. They also do something else, and I'm gonna let Phone Guy explain what they do to you.
They'll probably try to forcefully stuff you inside a Freddy Fazbear suit. Now that wouldn't be so bad if the suits themselves weren't filled with cross beams, wires, and animatronic devices, especially around the facial area. So you can imagine how having your head forcefully pressed inside one of those could cause a bit of discomfort and death. The only parts of you that would likely see the light of day again would be your eyeballs and teeth when they pop out the front of the mask.
So yeah, don't let that happen.
I always come back.
Oh, hello there!
In the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's, Springtrap was a guy called William Afton, and he created Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria with another guy called Henry. But one thing Henry didn't know was that William Afton was hiding a dark secret. William Afton was kind of a child murderer. He's been dressing up in a yellow rabbit suit, luring children backstage and murder them off the screen. He hid the bodies in the animatronics, pretty much explaining how Freddy, Barney, Chica and Foxy are alive and moving on their own, which is pretty disturbing. One day, the ghost children cornered William Afton, and William Afton was kind of screwed. Then something goes wrong and this happens. So yeah, William Afton died horribly. But, as the great Charles Lee Ray once said,
I'll be back. I always come back.
He said it! He said it!
in the FNAF lore, this would be continuing Five Nights at Freddy's 3, where you see him in the Fazbear's Fright, and then also in Five Nights at Freddy's 6. But you see, this is when the entity comes in, because after he was left to die, he woke up and he heard a child's laughter coming from the kitchen. So, of course, getting ready, because he loves killing kids, that sick mother ducker. He gets his knife and he goes in and he sees nothing other than a black fog. But in the black fog, he sees survivors. He kind of sees opportunity and he kind of says, oh, maybe I could keep the fun going for all eternity if he just lets the entity take him. So, he just enters the fog and that's pretty much it.
I mean, it's alright, like...
Yeah, so not that much lore for Springtrap, which is pretty disappointing. It is a bit disappointing why his lore got a bit trimmed down, because there are some things in it that don't really make any sense. For example, if it takes place before Five Nights at Freddy's 3, then how come William Afton has the axe? Another thing that doesn't make sense is the room that he was left in, wasn't it blocked off so then people couldn't go in? How did he get out? Did he bust down the door or something? Like, it doesn't really tell us, so yeah, his lore isn't that good and it's a bit disappointing, to be honest. But anyways, let's talk about his model and DBD, and can I just say they did a really good job. Springtrap looks absolutely amazing in Dead by Daylight. I even love how they even gave him a new body inside the suit, that we even get to see like his crushed body, which is a bit disturbing in my opinion. And also his animations are good, and his voice lines I actually really enjoy. And also his Maury, absolutely amazing. I actually really like it. I like the jump scare at the end, which is just, you know, fitting for Five Nights at Freddy's. But the only problem that some people had with this Maury is that it does take a bit too much of the movie version with the blades. And I guess it would have been kind of cool if he like puts them in like an animatronic suit. I just wonder why they didn't do that, but honestly I still like the Maury as it is. Springtrap got 4 cosmetics, 2 being 2 legendaries and 2 being really rares. So let's start off with his legendaries. The first one he has is none other than Glitch Trap from Five Nights at Freddy's VR. And can I just say, I actually thought Glitch Trap wasn't going to be that good. I thought it was just going to be just pretty much Springtrap and that was it. But actually, it's actually really good, honestly. Like, it has like a lot of cool animations. Like, for example, in the lobby, he has a jump scare, which is honestly really cool. I even love his like creepy wave in his animations. Even in game, like when he grabs a survivor, he like shushes them, which is an iconic thing he does in the game. And he even does that even in the Maury, which is just amazing, honestly. I like it when they change Mauries like that, you know, makes them more viable and makes them more worth your money. The next legendary he has is the Yellow Rabbit, which is from the FNAF movie, who is played by Matthew Lillard. And can I just say, it looks great. Like, it's just amazing just seeing Matthew Lillard in Dead by Daylight. It would have been cool if it was Stu from Scream, but honestly, I'm just happy just to see him in the game. And honestly, I love his animations, like in the lobby, and his yell is just funny. Even his voice lines are pretty good. Like, I really like his voice lines. I even like the ones that he has for, like, Nick Cage.
Nick Cage, what is your deal, man?
Yeah, they didn't change the Maury, unfortunately. It's still the same, but instead it's just him screaming at it, which is just funny in my opinion. So if you want to buy it, I would recommend it, like buy the Yellow Rabbit skin. Now let's get off the really rares. The first one he has is Clown Springtrap, I think it's called, and it looks pretty good, honestly. I actually like the description of it, that apparently Springtrap doesn't know why he's wearing a costume because he said he doesn't design his animatronics with costumes. And there's even a bit where he tried to rub off the makeup that's on the animatronic's face, but it didn't came off. That does make it a bit creepy. And his last cosmetic is Toxic Springtrap, which honestly I would say looks really good, and I really think it's probably his best one in my opinion. I just think there's a lot of good details with it, and I just love the neon purple on it. There's also cosmetics for the survivors, but let's be honest, it's just the same exact skin, it's just a t-shirt, Five Nights at Freddy's. Let's just move on. So now let's talk about his power, and his power is pretty simple. So his power is he has an axe, and pretty much he can throw it at survivors. If he throws it at a survivor, he can grab them and pretty much hook them. Or he can just reclaim his axe and down them like the Huntress with her hatchets. Now if he misses, he has this detectable bubble, and if a survivor goes in it, he can like detect them, which is pretty cool. I honestly don't mind the axe being part of his power. To be honest, what else are you going to give Springtrap? You can't just like go around punching survivors or something, like that would just be a bit weird. So Springtrap can like go in the doors, and you're in this zone, and you can pick which door you want to teleport to, and there's like about, I believe there's about 7 doors, and if he goes to any of them, he like goes into the security room and goes to the door that you clicked on. So it's kind of like a teleport, it's kind of like the Dredge and the Xenomorph. Now for survivors, they can like look on the cameras in the game, like how the security guard can like look on the cameras and try to find the animatronics. If they see Springtrap on the cameras and stare at him for a while, they've revealed Springtrap to all the survivors, pretty much showing where he is, which is pretty cool honestly, and it actually fits well into the game. But the best part is if Springtrap and the survivors teleport to the exact same door, well, this happens. Yeah, so pretty much you want to make sure not to teleport when Springtrap is teleporting. Okay, now let's talk about his perks. The first perk he has is Haywire, and so what it does is pretty much if a survivor's on the exit gate and if they leave it like at about 99, the gate will start regressing down, pretty much like Ruin. Like, realistically, it is a good perk, but it just should be base kit, honestly. It should be something that should be active at endgame, which I think would actually make the game more fair, because survivors can't just 99 the gate, they would have to open it, putting more pressure on them. So I don't know why they couldn't just do that. Like, honestly, I think it's just a waste of a perk. But, you know, it might be good in some endgame builds, I suppose. The next perk he has is called Phantom Fright, and this is his best one. Because what it does is pretty simple. Like, if a survivor looks at Springtrap, they just scream, pretty much revealing where they are. And that's pretty much it. Like, it's honestly a really good perk. It's like probably his best one in my opinion. I would recommend putting that perk on more often. And his last perk is called Help Wanted. It's not the best one, but it's okay. I'll explain what it does. When you kick a gen, the perk activates, and if that gen gets done, when he hits a survivor, his cooldown isn't so slow. But it's just a bit weird, honestly, because like if you want to hit survivors really fast, I would probably just recommend bringing Save the Best for last. It is a bit weird of how it activates, and it's not the best. But honestly, it could be good in a build, I suppose. Yeah, so that's all his perks. 1 good, 2 pretty meh. Now finally, let's talk about the map, and can I just say the map is amazing. I like how they add elements from the movie, but also add a bit of the video game to it also, which is pretty cool. Another cool Easter egg is like if you go into this room, an endoskeleton drops out of a vent. If you go into parts and service, the animatronic eyes like kind of follow the survivor. Another good Easter egg is if you open one of the lockers, Mr. Cupcake comes out. The best bit is the animatronics on the stage, which is just so cool, like just to see Freddy, Barney and Chica in Dead by Daylight. And I even like when if you fix the generator, they activate. I think that's pretty cool, but I am just wondering, let's see how Foxy's doing. I can't wait to see where Foxy is. Oh, there's Pirate's Cove, let's go see... Wait, what? Wait, where the hell is Foxy? Wait, they didn't add Foxy? Well, that's weird, like, why didn't they add Foxy? Like, that's wait, never mind, they have the plush on top of the gen. Oh, well, that's just a good job, like, well done for adding a plush on top of a cage. That's, like, just brilliant. Yeah, it's kind of a shame they didn't add Foxy in the map. Like, Foxy's always been, like, kind of my favourite character, you know? Like, I don't know what it is. I think it might be the hook or the pirate eye. But it might be because I enjoy his, like, jump scare scene, like, where he just runs down the hallway. Like, that's just funny. Excuse me, sir, but I think you dropped your wallet. Well, overall, was Five Nights at Freddy's worth the wait? Well, yeah. I think, honestly, I was never, like, a true Five Nights at Freddy's fan. Like, I like the games, but I was never, like, a full-on hardcore fan. Honestly, I'm just happy what we got. Like, I think I wasn't really that disappointed at all. I think the chapter did a very good job. And if you're thinking about buying it, then yeah, go on. Like, but anyways, if I would have to rate this chapter, I would probably give it like about 9.5 pizza slices. The reason 9.5 is because they're still missing Foxy. I'm not gonna get over that. But anyways, I guess that's the end of the video, I guess. So thank you for watching, and to finish this video off, Bite of 87. Ciao.
Was that the bite of 87?